Well, now your mom is living back in Colombia.
Yes.
Do you go see her?
No.
Why?
At the time, I'm getting an asylum in this country. I was working to get my papers because I wasn't allowed to be a U.S. citizen, so I had married my ex-wife to get citizenship, and then I get fucked up on a little something, and I'm out on bond while I'm still trying to become a regular person. And then my mother's living in Colombia, and I start learning what it is about exclusivity. I start learning about life rights. So I have a producer friend of mine that has made a lot of well-known documentaries. I'm not gonna say his name, but it's amongst the Black urban infamous culture. And he starts telling me, look, you could do this, you could do that. And I start reading contracts from different production companies if they're gonna get consultation or life rights from somebody. So I tell my mother, look, we could do this, we could do that. My mother's like, nah, I'm not gonna share no stories, papi. And I'm like, yo, mommy, you're already famous, you're an urban legend. Let's make some money in Hollywood. And she's like, do you really think people want to hear my story? And I'm like, yo, Italians, the Irish, Mexicans are gonna tell their stories. They've already told so many stories. And look at all the mob movies. Give me the chance, mommy. Give me your power of attorney and let me figure this out. And I was on probation, and I'm working at a marble company for another Colombian guy, right? And as I'm working for him, I get a phone call, and it's a guy that is now dating my ex-sister-in-law. And he's a Colombian American guy that handles the radio rackets. We all know what that is. I'm not gonna say, right? And then he calls me up from a private plane coming back with this big time concert organizer. I won't say his name either, but they're like, yo, there's a documentary coming out, and it's called The Cocaine Cowboys. It's made by these kids, these guys, and it's gonna be famous. At that time, there was a gentleman from the Bay Area, from Oakland, named Lou. He just happened to be the best friend of one Tupac Shakur. He was, when Dublin Correctional Facility at one point, and this is fact, men and women used to share the yard. At one point, there was the last prison in all the United States only for yard. I'm not saying they would, but they would share the yard. Yeah. And Lou was a Mexican man, and he had a ring that my mother gave him, right? And they would talk. So this gentleman leaves prison, and he becomes a documentarial super guy. He had a company called No Bull Films. This is the first guy that put me on point. Like, look what I can do. You can do this too. And he calls my mom gets in touch with him, and she goes, hey, go check on Michael. He's in Miami. He just had 2 kids, and maybe you can get him into your business and show him the way, change his ways. And he comes from Oakland to Miami, and he pays my probation off. He pays everything, and I'm like, yo, Lou, what? I know how you get down. Let's get down. And he's like, no, bro, look, we can do movies, we can do documentaries, you can do this. I own this company. And I kid you not, we're driving around, I'm showing him the hoods in Miami, Carol City, this, and that. I had done a little favor for him. He comes off, he pays my probation, and I kid you not, while we're driving around, Afina Shakur calls him. So I'm like, oh, he's not full of shit. Tupac really was his best friend. And he starts telling me, look, Michael, you see, this is what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna pay you, and you're gonna become my partner, and we're gonna open up this company, and you're gonna learn about production. And I'm like, hell yeah, get me out of this. You know, I'm on probation. I'll be done in a couple. And I get the phone call from the guy on the plane, and it's him telling me that they beat me to the punch. That now this company called Raconteur is making Cocaine Cowboys. So then I call Lou, and I go, Lou, they beat us. They're doing this. He's like, don't worry. We're still going to get into production. You're still going to do this, Michael. You can be a law-abiding person. You can get into production. You can make money off of show business. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. They beat me to it. I get off probation, and I get back to the streets, man. And I had the #1 tattoo parlor in South Beach with a gentleman named Pride, and everybody was there. You name a criminal organization, they would show up.